now, it's soft armor that is rated level 3 plus that can stop a 30-06 or a 7.62, and it's soft body armor. It's a lot lighter. It's like similar to a Kevlar material, but much stronger. And yeah, I've seen those going around lately, and I've watched a few tests of them, and they can take about 5 or 6 hits before they start to penetrate.
Damn. Stepping outside the box said something that is absolutely true. I don't know it personally. Like I said, I've never been shot, but yeah, when that impact hit, I've had people explain it to me that it's like getting hit by a truck, man. I mean, it's that it's still coming into you, that force,
Yeah, mine came with trauma pads also to try to help with that, but even with that, it's still going to put you on your butt at very least, and it'll knock the wind out of you. You're not going to, I've never been shot with it either, but I have seen people who have, and I wouldn't want it to be tested.
I would think that it would probably knock the breath out of you, probably bruise you internally.
Oh yeah.
But at least you're not shot. You've got something.
Break some ribs, and it can even collapse a lung. So
I'd imagine, golly, well, I see some of them people on the YouTube, where they stand there, somebody's like, boom, and they're all like, I'm like, no, that's not happening. I ain't testing mine out like that. I'll just take it for your word that it works. What I'm saying? I'm not. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody as skinny as me, like a Green Thumb Prepper said, as skinny and as thin as I am, if I get hit even in a plate, it's going to cause some damage for sure. Okay. So my goal is to never get into a firefight, but if the event happens, it's not going to be fun, no matter how you look at it. It's not like movies and TV where, it's just people who believe that just need to wake up.
You figure, all right, now follow my logic on this. You figure actually getting shot, you could keep going, for a couple, 35 to 40 seconds, minute, 2 minutes before the adrenaline, keeps you moving. But if you get hit with that plate, it's more of is that more of an instant stop? You know what I mean?
I mean, theoretically, yeah, because it's more of a blunt force impact rather than a small projectile going through you. So, like you said, as long as it doesn't hit any major arteries or any vital organs, then you can keep going for a lot of time after you get shot. But if you're hitting that body armor, it's going to put you down, and it's going to take you a minute to get back up. So there are pros and cons there for sure.
See, it's just the little stuff like that that's weird. It runs across my head. Like, damn. So if I shot him when he's got a plate on, he would just kind of like, oof. But if I actually shot him, he could still, come and get me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of it would have to do with mental as well. I mean, somebody getting hit and getting shot. Because I mean, like I said, I've never been shot, so I don't know how I'm going to react. Honestly, just to be honest about it. So
it don't feel good. It does not feel good. Body armor getting hot.
I can imagine it don't feel good. I would probably think that, a lot of people may even, just get up and leave, be like, hell with this shit, I mean, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I don't know. I think it just would have to be the individual person if they kept coming at you or not,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Because I've seen these reports and seen these videos of people that were on a lot of drugs, and police have put many rounds into them, and they just kept on going. So I mean, it's a matter of shot placement there, in my opinion. Aim higher. I mean, right around right here.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I mean, I've been shot at, but I've never actually been shot. So I mean, I know the feeling behind that, and a lot of people don't realize that, it's not TV. Just because you shoot somebody that comes in your front door doesn't mean you're stopped. They can still get to you, and tear your ass up before they bleed out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I think that's why that pretty much they say the 20-foot rule, you know, because, you know, a man that's 6 foot tall, you know, I mean, 20 foot, they can make that up in just a few steps. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're running, you know, at you.
Right.
You know, if you do shoot them, they can still come, you know, if they've got a knife or whatever, you know, they can still kind of stumble and fall into you, you know.
Oh yeah. Hi, Mom and Paul. I see you out there.
Hey, Grim, what kind of camera was you using, or was you trying to use a cell phone?
For what? Because right now I'm on a webcam, but typically, like the outdoor video I did the other day was recorded on this.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I'm proud of
that's
you
all.
on that. I really watched you about 4 or 5 times, making sure everything was right, and I was going like, hey, he's doing a similar way I'm doing mine.
Now, is there some kind of body armor or Kevlar thing that's like a full shirt or something that is like stab proof? Is that a thing on the market, or is it just pretty much based on use?
I didn't really look into it real hard, but I did see something the other day I had because they were talking about the body armor and stuff, and something about, you know, if you know, they can get beside it, you know, and stab you, and there was something about something that you can wear that's supposed to be stab proof. Now I didn't really check into it.
It's similar to a Kevlar material because it will deflect punctures, including from a knife. But they also make steel plates and steel body armor carriers with side plates now, so you can attach it all the way around your body, and the side plate will go up to about your armpit and protect your ribs and your lungs. But it also makes it a lot heavier because you're carrying additional plates.
That's what the Ghost uses, Spooks uses, is a bulletproof vest that has them side plates on them. Because one shot is one thing, but if that guy turns and you got a knife, that knife can penetrate mainly almost all the bulletproof vests. Even when they got steel, you got to find that soft spot on them vests. But if they got them all the way around, like Grim was talking about, it won't mess with it. It'll bounce the knife off just the same.
I'm not talking on anything with plates. I'm talking about just a full, nothing but a knife resistant shirt.
Chain shirt. A chain shirt would do it.
There's got to be something more modern than that, you'd think.
Yeah, Grim's looking it up. Looks like they have it's a vest shirt thing that's supposed to be stab proof. That's what I'm saying. I didn't really look into it.
France made one that's actually, he was talking about, made out of silk. It's actually a leather jacket and a shirt, but they're arm and a leg. Someone like Donald Trump or Joe Biden could probably afford it. We would not be able to afford it.
I'm going to post this link for what I'm looking at right now in the chat here on StreamYard, the private chat, so you can put it up if you want to, or share the link.
Let me figure out how to do all that. Hold on.
Yeah, I got to figure out where the chat is. I don't see it.
The only reason I know about that and that France made is because they had it on a channel, one of their learning channels.
Because see, the way, I'm not a big gun guy, but I have been stabbed, so I know that hurts like a bitch. You know what I mean? So I'm more of a knife guy than a gun guy anyway. You know what I mean? Eventually I want the body armor, but something that I would actually use if I spent the money on it would be something that would be stab proof, because I do run my mouth a lot.
Christy Klinger, that answer there, it's not going to hurt that bad to get.
It's going to hurt their hand.
Yeah, it's going to hurt their hand. Yeah.
Because all it is a piece of steel, and as long as it's tightly snug against your body, it's going to hurt their hand a lot more. I mean, they're likely to break some fingers if they're hitting hard enough.
Right, and even in a fall, if your vest is fitted right, if you've got it fitted right and adjusted right, I mean, there's possibility anytime you fall, hurt, but I don't see the plate carrier so much as I would probably thinking that maybe some attachments on it, could hit you if you've got a walkie up here or something, something like that. But as far as it goes for the armor, if it's adjusted correctly, it don't move around a whole lot on you. It's not supposed to, So
That's my concern with battle bolts and having a lot of stuff attached all the way around it. Is if you get knocked down, you're going to land on some of that stuff that's going to hurt you, and very bad idea.
It said that I just looked it up to see what you was talking about. It says standard knife. That's like a kitchen knife.
Oh, someday I'm going to get you on this show, man. It will happen.
You know what I'm saying, Grim? About the vest, it's only going for standard kitchen knives. Because it says standard knife.
It says NIJ approved. I'm not sure what that is. National Institute of Justice, it says. It has a 5-year warranty. Trying to find more specs. Knife is standard 115 is what it says. Knife weight 20 kilograms.
Yep.
So, yeah, that particular one probably wouldn't be the best for a knife fight, but in a knife fight, you don't get a lot of stabbing, you get a lot of slashing.
Yeah.
So, it would still work with that. You would have to have somebody really close to you putting their hand behind you to support you from falling backwards before somebody could stick that.
I think, like, if you were going to protect yourself against a knife attack, like if you had body armor on, you might want to go to, like them ranchers and stuff, them old cowboy ranchers and stuff. They would wear that leather, but probably more of a steel type, a lightweight, type steel where you could block the knife. You know what I'm saying? Slashing at you, but I mean, they get lucky, and it's
forearm sheet metal leather. That would probably do.
Yeah, I mean, leather armor was used for many years. If you get a nice thick piece of hard leather, that's going to protect you against most knives anyway. I mean, it's going to be really hard to stab through it. You're not going to be able to slash through it whatsoever. So it may not be the most modern thing, but, thick leather will do the job.
Well, isn't it statistically, aren't more people stabbed than shot in America? And things like that?
I'm not really sure.
It was.
Really? No, I don't really know for sure about that one. I do know that more people are injured and killed by hands and feet than with guns. Or at least at one time.
I haven't looked at the statistic in like 8 months, so I can't remember which one was which, but I know it was, like actual murders, not like accidents and suicides and things like that, but like actual, even assaults.
I know in Charlotte, we had a guy who took a damn big old, what did you call, a butcher knife about that long. I'm talking about 1.5 feet. That's the blade. Then you count the handle. Took it right into a bus station, started whacking with people. They did that in New York and also in Florida. So I'm going with the cops. It's mainly the standard kitchen knife. Most of us that like Grim and us, we carry Skinner knives I carry a bear knife, but I do carry regular pocket knives that we usually use. And you don't hear nobody getting stabbed by them, but yet you hear them about them kitchen knives.
Yeah, but just because you don't hear about something doesn't mean it's not happening. I mean, we know it.
But I was just going by the statistic, what the cops was telling me.
Yeah. This was a birthday gift. That's all. I didn't buy it myself. It was just a gift.
Damn.
Yeah,
yeah, mine's a little bitty. I got a little but I keep this on my belt at all times, so I never leave home without this, because the best knife you can have in a survival situation is the knife you have on you at the time. So I prefer to have a fixed blade, and you can get a good purchase on this thing. You can shave wood. You can do whatever you need to do with it. And I don't know about anybody else personally, but I wouldn't want to be stabbed with it. And yeah, so it works for me.
No, yeah, I've got one about that size that I carry. That it's a Damascus steel I bought at a gun show, and it's about like that knife right there. It's shaped like that and everything. That's the one I usually pretty much carry on me as well. It's a great little knife.
I did this after I saw Matt Shad's knife thing. I did one just basic. I didn't go in detail about knife fighting because knives are just like swords. If you know how to sword fight, you know how to knife fight. But this is a toy. I just put a piece of tin foil like off of this, wrap it, tape it. You can tell this is a toy. But when you start teaching people stuff and you bring out a real one, you're actually telling people to cut themselves. This, you ain't gonna cut yourself learning how to do it.
I mean, the only reason I actually started getting into like paying attention to the knives and stuff is because remember a while back you had like the MS-13 and stuff that were literally hacking people up with machetes in the middle of the street. You know, that's a reality now. So that's something that people, you know, I never heard anybody talk about it. So I'm like, there's got to be a way to do it somehow. You know what I mean? To defend against that, or, you know.
Well, you got to remember Africa. Remember Africa, they always fighting, and they don't have that many guns. They grab them damn axe and machetes and knives.
Yep.
And then Europe does the similar same thing.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people get too focused on them guns, and I was like, man, there's some savages out there that will chop your head off, literally. You know what I mean?
At 21 feet, that's what cops look at, and you can get stabbed up to 30 times. You can get cut all to pieces at 21 feet. It don't take them long to get to you. Just snap of the finger. You don't see it.
There's a lot of martial artists who do tests like that versus how fast somebody can draw a pistol versus how fast they can get to them with a knife. And 9 times out of 10, the knife wins.
Yeah. That's why I keep my gun line at 50 foot.
Good deal.
That's why when you know, some of the training I'm getting is when somebody is approaching you like that is to start immediately backing up, you know, as you're drawing, you know, because you want to try to keep as much distance as possible, you know, because once they get, like Cherokee was saying, you know, that's why I said the 20-foot rule a while ago, you know, once they get within that distance, they can get you, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got friends that do Philippine calls. My wife's Asian, so I know a lot of guys that does Philippines and marry into Philippine families, and I know a couple of masters of it. But I usually tell all my friends, if you want to learn how to do it off the YouTube, I can give you channels. Jim Wagner's one, Kelly McCain's another one, Funk Tactics, if you want to go with the Karamba, which I tell people don't use it because it's going to break your fingers. And I have seen a girl actually kill herself on video swinging to one of them little Karambas. And I'm going like, why? You know, basic knife of what you carry is what you're going to use. You ain't going to carry that knife everywhere.
Who was that fella you popped up on the screen?
That one there?
No. The one right before it.
Uh-oh.
Who's that fella?
Look at that, the boy's here. What you doing, boy?
Yeah.
Great boy Hutch, y'all. My son. Check him out.
I like him. That's a good boy. I need him to do the trees for me. I can get lazy then and be like Hutch.
Watch his channel. He's going to make a lot of you grown-ass men feel like
and
like
I
you ain't doing nothing.
recommend this book right here from a friend. He's got 3 or 4 books. He will actually tell you. All of them's drills, but he actually gets down to details.
The Secrets of the Knife.
Yep. There's his name. You can get it on Amazon for $9.
Yeah, there better be slacker.
All of it's drills. Everything he's got in there is a drill. But he's got other books that actually tells you everything you need to know about knife fighting.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to get into that because it seems, you know, if all this gun suppression stuff does go through, then, I mean, the next practical thing is going to be to grab a blade. So,
well, the way I look at it, and the way I always tell my kids that's joining the military, the boys and the girls, you're going to run out of bullets, and you're going to have no other choice but to pull your next vulnerable tool, and that's going to be a knife. And
I keep this on the ready all the time on my belt, right in the same spot. Got muscle memory for it. This was an SE Azula. The knife I want to get for my bag is an SE5. I'll get that sooner or later. And yeah, in the event that I have nothing else, I would have the bigger one on me. But yeah, don't currently own it.
The best thing I can tell you, without knowing knife fighting, is the way I got used to knife fighting. is I never tell a person don't get close to that person, because if you can get close to his hand, on the right side or left side, you lock into your chest, you got control over him and the blade. Later on, I'll probably be showing a little bit of that stuff, because Justin Dad wanted to see how I used to do shit.
Yeah, I never leave my house without my blade and my Leatherman wave. Never. They're always with me at all times. But I also never leave the house without a Glock either. So, yeah.
Yeah, Graham, you know what I'm talking about. If you run out of bullets, you don't have nothing else. You got to pull something.
Exactly.
I've got I carry actually 3 or 2 knives on me at all times, and sometimes 3, and it's just for different uses. You know, I've got one that I keep for defense.
Yeah.
You know, and then I've got one that I just use, you know, here and there for things. But then my pocket knife, you know, I use it for all the gritty stuff. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that's gonna, you know, might chip your blade or dull your knife pretty quickly. You know, but I always keep that one defensive knife, you know, on my side at all times. You know, and I don't have a Glock, but I have a HK-VP9.
This is my knife sharpener.
Yeah.
Work Sharp Ken Onion Edition. It's basically a belt grinder. Aftermarket, that's a leather strop I have on there. And I think it's still plugged in. Yeah, it is. So you just hit the button and it starts spinning that belt. And it has these guides on there, which I'll try to show on this side. And that's your angles right there that adjust the guides for when you're running your blade through there, so it keeps it even on both sides. And I mean, you can make it scary sharp with this thing, scary sharp, where you touch it with your thumb and you're bleeding. And
I looked at that. The other day. I thought about getting one of them. I looked at one,
That's one I carry, Graham.
I don't know if it was actually called that particular name brand or not, but it was basically that same setup right there.
They have 2 different ones. The Work Sharp Ken Onion is the one that is, and that's the one that has the selector for the angles, and it's a little more money. And they have a different Work Sharp, I can't remember what that one's called, that doesn't have as many bells and whistles as that one does, but it still works really well also.
Okay. I'll check that.
If you had the choice, like if you could only have one blade, would it be a fixed blade or would it be something that closes in on itself?
Fixed blade.
Fixed blade.
Thing.
Fixed blade, no doubt.
Do you find any good use, like practical uses, to carry a flip open knife?
I'll be honest.
This is one. Just because it has every other tool, it has practical uses as a knife also. Because
well, I mean, that doesn't count. I mean, like just like a solo knife. Like, say your grandpa passed you down a little, you know what I mean? Flip open deal.
Yeah, I got that too. I don't always carry it with me though.
Look at that, Graham. Hold that back up, Graham.
Yeah, it's kind of
hard
to show you. But
that's American toothpick. That works good on a lot of shit.
In the house.
Yeah, I don't carry it around, but I have it.
See, because I got very few fixed blade knives, but I've got 10,000, flip open knives, and I never actually use them. I go out of my way to grab them, but I never. Yeah, I got 1,000 of those damn things.
Yeah, that's an old timer.
It is. Yeah, this belonged to my dad. He carried it around in his pocket forever. When he passed away, I have it now. So.
Them knives are used for a lot of stuff. Them old timers.
Oh yeah,
I got
they're
one
good knives.
somewhere. My wife's got it, but
That's
thing
what
passed down.
I don't, because I'm just sitting out here in my shop, and I don't have all my stuff. I keep everything in the house there, but I carry every day. I've got a little O-Light, one of them little pin lights. It's the O-Light brand, and I carry it. And I carry, like I said, a regular pocket knife, and then, my little flip open knife. And a lot of times the flip open knife, all I use it for is like if I'm going to eat something, and I forget to bring, utensils, I'll take and use my knife to cut this piece of steak or something when I'm at lunch, or you know what I mean. But
I like through night over O-Light, and this is a through night TC15. It's got the charge port on the back. This is an older model, so it's got the older style charge charger there, but still works just fine. This thing is right around 2100 lumens on its super brightness, and I can light up the world with this thing.
Well, mine came. My pen light came with I bought one of them old Odin for my AR. So it was a package deal for Black Friday. It was the Olight Odin. Like I said, I put it on my AR, and then it came with the pen light, and it was like $115 or something like that for both of them. So I bought them. It was a Black Friday deal, you know, and it came with the Olight pen light, you know.
This is also a part of my EDC Sundays. This is just my standard hat that I wear when it's dark outside, and it has, you know, that light attached to it. Has a battery pack over here on the side. Yeah, there it is. That takes 4 basically watch batteries. And yeah, it's old and dirty at this point. Looked better when it was new. But yeah, that light has come in handy so many times.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll show you something I got for $20, and I still got to find a battery for it. This knife right here. You see this?
Yeah.
It's a Merch MedTech. Got the flashlight, you saw that. Got the blade, but here's what else you get. You get a whistle, and a fire starter. It's also got a can opener, which I found out the hard way. I thought it was a bottle opener and found out backwards. You see it?
That's
That's
the
the
window
can
breakers on the
opener,
end
and
of
this is
there.
supposed to be a bottle opener. I found out you have to push the whole damn thing in. Then you got your glass buster there for $20.
I still prefer my Leatherman.
Yeah, that's why I talked about that too. You know, if you can, even if you can't afford a Leatherman or a Gerber, you know, to always carry a multi-tool on you. Man, if you run off in a creek, you know, and accidents happen, you run off in a creek, you can't actually use that as a window breaker, you know.
This is a car bolt.
Yeah.
This
So
is a car bolt. He has a Leatherman. What's yours, Patriot?
this particular one here is a Leatherman.
So each
And
one of
I
us
I'm
have
not
different
holding up a multi-tool. What the hell? I feel left out.
Yeah.
We'll be in Switzerland. Switzerland.
Yeah, I've got multi-tool and I've got a couple of. I actually have what you call get home bags. I didn't really consider mine.
What's going on, Bug Out with Pluto?
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I'm actually going to add this to a pack I'm going to do when I hit the 5,000 mark on subscribers, which, well, that's iffy as of today. But, yeah, I'm adding this to it. It's going to be a part of the kit, which the kit is sitting in my EDC bag on the other side of the room. I'm not going to break it out. But, yeah, this DeWalt multi-tool is going in that kit. Among other things, and I did pick up a flashlight for the kit also with the 400 lumen flashlight, and it has the ability to adjust the beam or spot. There it is.
Right.
And yeah, that's going in the kit also. Just to put together a little thank you for being here. 5,000 subscriber giveaway.
I'm still trying to catch up with y'all. I'm just down to 250 something. They took a lot of them out. I have close to 600 at one time, and all of a sudden, all my subscribers just vanished, and I only had like 200 and something. So I'm rebuilding back up. Then I'll go
I
live
can't break
stream.
600. I've been stuck at 600 for right in that range. It'd be 602 down to 598, 602 down to 598 for the last 2 weeks.
I ain't
Yeah,
calling
you
on
got to be
that.
careful who you associate yourself with, because if you're hanging around some of these fake lying preppers, then you end up with a bad reputation just because you're associated with them, which is something I learned the hard way over the last few days.
I've heard
Yeah.
something about that somewhere.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere?
Yeah, that was kind of one of the reasons. Like I said, it's not anything against Dangerous Freedom, that we could go on his channel all the time, but it's nothing against him. It was more last night, like I said, after watching some videos yesterday, watching Angry's video, and I just really stopped and thought about that stuff, you know, and I was like, wow, you know, this is something, you know, you kind of get involved in all this, and you just, you know, I'm one of them old fashioned country boys, you know, you pretty much, your word was what you got, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that was your main thing is your word, you know, and then to start seeing all this stuff, and that's why, like I said, I didn't go on his deal on his late night last night, because I just sat in here and just thought, you know, and just thought about stuff, you know, and was like, man, you know, this is, you know, how do I really want to approach this, and how do I really want to start doing, you know, certain videos and things like that, because, you know, it is true, man. You can sit on here and talk all day long, you know, but, you know, and that's why I always just try to tell everybody, don't, you know, you gotta know where you live, you know, you gotta prep for where you live, you know, you gotta prep, like Hutch said, for your family, you know, you know, mine and Hutch's family is probably got a lot of differences, you know, and even in food taste, you know, and stuff. So, you know, it just made me sit back and think for a while last night.
As a content creator, going along with that, as a content creator, you can't just sit and talk. You have to show something. Yeah. You have to prove yourself somehow. You have to show, hey, I got some preps here. Look at this. This is why I have this. You have to, you know, as a survival channel, which is what it's named, you have to walk out into the woods and show that you can start a fire, that you can put up a shelter. Otherwise, you're just full of it. And there's so many channels that are, you know, you cannot believe them because they never show anything but themselves with a microphone shoved in their face, running their mouth. And that's exactly what Jason over at the Angry Prepper was talking about. You're not going out and doing things, then how do we know that you are legit? How do we as other creators know that we should call out your channel and help you if we've never seen you do anything but sit in front of your microphone? And
I agree with that, bro. That's why I said, that's why I just sat back last night and, you know, and just really, you know, thought about it, you know. I just looked, and I've got 600 subscribers, and I'm like, you know, I've not really done a whole more. I've done more of, like, you know, like Mad Shad when he, you know, he was needing some help, you know, I do stuff like that. And then like I've got a video talking about what is life, you know, and that was back when all this coot stuff, you know, was going on, and all these people freaking out, and nobody wants to touch anybody or get near anybody, you know, and I just kind of talked about, you know, what is life and stuff. But then again, you know, I don't really call myself a prepper channel, but I mean, it's really weird because people, you know, I watch some of these deals and they're suggesting what to keep in your truck, for instance, you know, and I'm like, well, hell, I've been carrying that shit in my truck for years, you know, I'm a country boy, you know, I mean, that was just normal shit you keep in your vehicle, you know, why, I didn't even know we needed to explain this, you know, it's, you know, so, I mean, you can go in my truck right now, and I mean, you could have 5 years ago, you know, and even today, I've got a machete, I've got multi-tool, you know, I've got fire starting stuff in there, you know, I mean,
you got to think about that, Patriot. Just think about how I do it. When I come over to Dangerous and I go and look at who you are and what you're about, and then I'll go check you out. And you see me upset one time before, and then I go check that person's video and then find out, hey, he don't have no products. But yeah, he's going to tell me I should be mad at someone else. I'll be going like, you don't have no product. I ain't going to listen to you. Just plain and simple.
Right.
I'll go to being real, man. You know what I mean?
That's why
people are pandering. Stop pandering to me and be you. If I like you, then I like you. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? Don't try to sway me. Just there's a crowd for everybody out there.
Oh yeah.
Don't try to steal. You know what I mean? You know, you don't have to lie.
Well, that's something I noticed about you, Hutch. You know, is you seemed like that kind of guy that the people I grew up around. You know, it's like, you know, it's people where I grew up at. You didn't pander to people. You were who you were. You know, you know, I'm freaking me. I don't. You know, I mean, you know, the Patriot 3%er thing, that's who I am, dude. I go out to these protests, you know. I go and stand in front of these, you know, when all that shit was going on. You know, I was Patriot 3%er before all that shit was going on.
Right.
And when the shit started hitting, you know, they talked about coming to our town and the town down the road from us, and that's what I did right there. That's, you know, Grim, that's me. I suited up and I went out there and stood my ground, you know, and said, you're not tearing our shit up. It's not happening. I will fight you. You know, we can go shoot out whatever it is you need to do. We're going to do this thing, you know.
That's the problem. Nobody's got any shame anymore. There ain't no integrity. Ain't nobody got no shame. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that. Ain't no pride.
There's too much politeness. I think that's like the main reason why we're stuck with this communist-ass president right now is the same thing. We're too fucking polite. Sometimes you gotta smack the bitch out of a man to let him know it's real sometimes. You know what I mean? Not pat him on the back and carry him around. I mean,
it says that in my book. That's exactly what it says. It may not word it quite like that, but in my book, that's exactly what it says.
Yep.
And like that, because the one thing that pisses me off, that an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. No, it doesn't. Not if you didn't do something stupid, it doesn't. Then they ain't coming for your eye. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep, and you can just look in the back of the book here where commonly known as Jesus, which wasn't his real name, made a bullwhip, sit there and weaved the bullwhip, walked into the temple of the time and started whipping people with it, and grabbing them by their throats and throwing them out of there for desecrating his father's house.
Right.
I mean, it does not say in here to be a pacifist anywhere.
That's why they got to work on that. Have you noticed churches have lost a lot of people out of churches because they went by their way, not by the book?
Exactly.
He was asking what do you guys think would be the best bug out vehicle and the best permanent carry pew for that vehicle?
I wouldn't ever leave one in a vehicle permanently because that's how you arm most criminals. So never leave one in your vehicle. Always carry it on your person. That's why we carry sidearms. You can get...
I mean, you might not leave it in there. I'm thinking it like, you know...
Yeah, to come and go with, you can get an EDC bag with any kind of a long gun you can throw in there. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you can use well, I would recommend something that has multiple round capabilities and easy reloads. As for a vehicle itself, I mean, that's personal preference. As long as it's not a little bitty car, and I don't really like crossovers, I like something that has four-wheel drive capability and can run through the cornfields because I live in the cornfields. And, yeah.
Well, me, I don't carry no firearms in my vehicle. I'd carry everything but no firearms. I already learned my lesson on it. I might carry some for deer hunting or boar hunting. But when it comes to going to the city, I carry nothing but my little knives.
Oh, I don't even go to the city.
I'm married to an Asian woman. She's got friends in the city. They got to go shopping and stuff.
What happened to 3% or he disappeared?
Jeeps aren't too bad. I know they can run through the cornfields, so in my area where I live in, it would be a good option. So, yeah, it just depends on your area. I mean, some places are going to do better with a bigger vehicle, like an H3. Some places are going to do better with a pickup truck. Some places will do good with a Jeep. I mean, if you live in a suburb or in a city, I suggest an SUV. So, yeah.
I agree with Grim on it. I use either a Jeep, Toyota truck, or a Caravan, or a Hummer. But I'll stick to trucks and basically anything that's four-wheeling that's not a car.
Yeah, I don't recommend cars. I have a 99 Dodge Durango and a little car cut in front of me, and I bent that thing in half when I hit it. Completely totaled it, and then drove my Durango back home.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched Rip Curl's Prius video. It almost made me want a Prius.
Yeah.
But I don't live in the city.
Yeah, it wouldn't do good off-road, I'll tell you that.
I don't think it would make it to my mailbox from here.
Probably not.
Have y'all noticed, though, that a lot of boys don't even go back and really look at their vehicles and see what they got? And they don't even really work on their cars? We used to die just to get, we'll work just to fix our car and then try to make it look stylish, or our trucks. None of them does that anymore.
I know if you went and looked at my car right now, everybody would be disappointed. Like, I'm surprised it has, 4 aired up tires on it, to be honest with you.
I'm surprised I haven't taken mine out to the middle of the road and gave it a Viking funeral.
Do it.
Hey, I got a PT Cruiser. I'm getting ready to strip it all to pieces and sell the good stuff and get rid of the rest of it.
Good plan.
Yeah, wiring shot, transmission shot. I'm like, fuck that. Did it again. At least you know I slapped myself for it. But
POTB.
a lot of people kids don't do that no more. A lot of boys don't. Farm boys, they try not to do it.
I've noticed that a big trend nowadays, a lot of these damn kids in like the 20-somethings don't even want licenses.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. I know a teenager of mine that doesn't want to do it. And, I'm a professional driver. You're going to have a license whether you want it or not. That's my say on it.
Back in the old days, you got to learn how to drive a car age 13. And after that, as soon as they say your age limit for driving, you got to go get a license. Kids will be already out there getting their license.
I was driving a pickup truck around the farm when I was 10 years old. So,
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that stuff. It's all back to the damn screen. As I say that, we've been on here for 4 hours.
Yep, I'm about to have to call it. I do have some things that need to be taken care of. So.
Yeah, I know. I gotta actually get out here and do some work.
Okay, I'll get off too.
I got to get ready for Prepperty tonight on Dusty Data's channel, so I can. I don't know. Ghost might be some competition. Dangerous. He might be sneaky though. He might actually know some stuff and come from behind and just whoop all of our asses.
I'm putting my money on you and Dangerous. The other guy couldn't answer my questions. He couldn't ever hear them. So I got to put my money on y'all two. Y'all think.
Hey, as long as it's not weather related, or, hurricane related, I should be all right.
Just to throw it out there for anybody watching, I'm going to have Papa Prepper and Jason from Angry Prepper on in about 6 p.m. Eastern, so 2.5 hours from now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So as soon as you get off here, go get your snacks, get your drinks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got a little bit of time to take a nap. So.
You said 6 o'clock, Grim?
Yep, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, thank you.
I will be trolling in the chat.
I'll talk to you later, then. I'll talk to y'all later, brothers.
Yep, have a good one. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you later.
All right, thanks, Grandma, man. Appreciate it.
Yep, bye.